Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Become the Disruptor. My name is Magda. I'm a trauma-informed therapist. And today we're going to be talking about something much lighter than in a lot of my, I think, recent videos when I was addressing maybe more serious stuff. Today we're going to be talking about your play circuit. So play circuit is a primary emotional circuit that is in all mammals, yeah, including obviously humans. And a lot of the adults, especially people who had been through trauma, this circuit had been hijacked by the trauma, by the nervous system patterns of constant, gripping, bracing, fawning, appeasing. And then you kind of, it's not that you're losing it, because you cannot lose it. It's in your brain, but it's underdeveloped, it's underused. And actually, it's not allowing you to have a fuller, richer life. And this is what I'm going to be talking about. We're going to do also some micro practice. So again, you're going to be able to take something very practical from this video and embody the play, because it's really important. It's hugely important. And it's almost like, don't think about it that you even have this, play circuit, maybe underdeveloped. Think about that you almost like have a permission problem with actually showing that play circuit in your life. Not even showing, expressing it in a way that feels good for you, because it's supposed to feel good. Mother Nature didn't put the play circuit in our brain, millions years ago for us not to have fun here. Yeah. So again, I'm talking not mystical stuff. There's nothing religious here. It's just a pure biology, okay, and neuroscience. So yeah, I feel like I need to say that because there's just way too much, I would say, forced mysticism or like ideology around like psychology. So I just want to bring some objectivity, so then you can work with objective information rather than someone's interpretation of your biology. Yeah. So the play circuit, like I said, if you want to dive deeper into that, you're gonna have some references in the description below. It came from the work of neuroscientist Panksepp. He unfortunately passed away in 2017, but his work for affective neuroscience is amazing. So what he discovered in mammalian brains is that we have those 7 emotional circuits, one of them being play. So the play is very motoric. So sensory motor parts of your brain are being, so limbic parts of your brain are being involved in that. It's very social and it's exploratory. So it's beautiful, yeah? It regulates, and this is very important, it regulates aggression. So it kind of regulates that rage circuit if it is overdeveloped, for example. It reduces fear and basically strengthens neuroplasticity and your openness, your curiosity. So what happens, apart from trauma, that adults lose that play circuit or it is underdeveloped? Well, unfortunately, a lot of that is actually cultural, because play is supposed to be, play is almost like, when you think about let's say the definition of play, I don't know what, the Oxford dictionary says about, what is play, but it's usually something that's considered to be not serious, that it's not adult-like, that it's only meant for kids, when actually, so it's basically like a social, cultural inhibition of that. So we inhibiting ourselves in different contexts, it's almost like not to enjoy ourselves. Or what I also notice in a lot of my clients is that people feel guilty when they enjoy themselves, which is terrible, isn't it? It's really terrible that people feel guilty when they enjoy themselves. And that was especially what I noticed was the patterns in people who had been through trauma. So, and guys, go to any club and see an adult dancing. I'm sorry, without some people, without 3 pints, they can't even move, 2 legs together. That's a perfect example of play circuit completely underdeveloped. So the social inhibition plays a huge part. Then we have obviously the chronic survival stress. So, you know, the over identification with productivity. So again, the cultural aspect, as you can see. So everything that was programmed within us, but that is not primary or primal. So that second layer of your emotions or that emotional processing. And then basically the loss of spontaneous movement. So yeah, like I said, go to the club, see how adults are dancing, and you're gonna see how unspontaneous they are. So the difference, for example, because play is quite close to seeking emotional circuit. So seeking emotional circuit is more like a forward orientation. It's more like, you know, your explanation. You want to, there's a purpose and you want to like move forward. Play is more about something lateral, something more like spontaneous. It's more like relational joy, being in the moment, being present. It's not about like future oriented. It's more like present moment oriented and anchored in the present moment. So, and neurobiologically, how does play feel in the body? So what gets really, the parts of your brain that get really impacted, well, so not the parts of your brain that get impacted, but your brain, so the emotional circuit of play will be sending you chemicals that then will be interpreted by your prefrontal cortex as, oh, I feel good, oh, I feel like, you know, funky, or, you know, whatever that is that you're feeling. That is like, you know, your play circuit being online. But the actual chemicals is, first of all, it's endogenous opioids. They are being released. So you feel relaxed, you feel kind of warmth and bonding. So those endogenous, endogenous even, opioids, when they are being released during the those moments of, you know, playfulness and spontaneity, that they're very pleasant. So they're very pleasant. You feel pleasantness, you know, like I said, warmth, bonding in your body, wanting to be, you know, with other people. It's like a social joy loop in a way. Very positive, very positive. And then we also have, so you have endogenous, my pronunciation, endogenous opioids, but also you have dopamine being released. However, dopamine, very different from the dopamine that you will get from scrolling or food, you know, or shopping. No, it's a dopamine in a kind of non-goal driven mode. So it's like you're just cool, you know, that type of joy that it doesn't, you don't have to, you're not forcing anything. It's very unproductive. It's just you know, just, yeah, feels good, you know, that sort of thing. And when that could happen in different contexts, like context, like I said, it could be with other people, but it could be you and you. So, you know, you could be dancing in the kitchen, yeah, for example. So this is very important that you see the dopamine being in a completely different mode. So dopamine turns on not as like a drive to be productive, but more like chill, you know, I'm just being, you know, I'm just cool. So that's what happens when the play circuit comes online. So again, very pleasant. So if it's underdeveloped, you don't have that much pleasure in your life. Yeah. Micro practice. That's what I promised. So the micro practice is, and this is micro practice because it's about like turning on that emotional circuit with tiny movements, because we think it has to be big. It has to, like, no, you don't have to go to any like a huge gig now and like, you know, pretend that you enjoy yourself. No, it's about small action that slowly turns on this underdeveloped play circuit in your brain. And that just happens when you do certain body movements that will almost like send a signal, literally a signal, neuronal signal, cell signal to your brain that it's like, it's safe to be playful again. It's like you're connecting to your body, not through affirmations or talking or big action, but rather those small movements that actually then make a big difference over time. So whatever you are, I want you to look around the room and find something that you find pleasant. Could be, I don't know, a picture, could be a flower, could be maybe something outside of the window, whatever that is. And I want you to focus on that. And I want you to Soften your face, but really like unhook your jaw, make your tongue like wider, make your eyes wider, like, really relax and soften your face. So once you feel that your face is like unhooked from all the stress or tension, whatever you're feeling, that's when you can like slowly shift your weight towards that object or towards that thing that you find, beautiful, pleasant, whatever. Yeah. Now, when you already moved slightly toward that object, now do it like a funny movement. It doesn't have to be funny, but do like a spontaneous, just very self-driven movement. It could be like a tilt of the head, could be like, swaying your hips, could be swaying your chest, could be gesturing a lot. I do gesturing a lot because I'm Polish originally, so that's just part of the culture, which I didn't lose even though I lived in England for a long time. So that kind of playfulness. So turn it on and do it towards that object, yeah? Now lift your chest, but again, don't puff it up, just lift it a bit, and it's almost like open up. So these are the biological markers, so I want you to remember these. So your play circuit, you find something that is beautiful, pleasant for you to look at. You soften your face, you lean slightly towards it, you make a funky movement, or whatever it's like, swaying, whatever that is that you find in this particular moment that is natural for you, then you open your chest. That's it. That is, this small movement is sending a signal to your nervous system. We can relax, we can be playful. Yes, as you can see, nothing big, but those small micro practices, as you can see, spontaneous, whatever that was. This is really important to build up that emotional circuit back online. Small micro practices. Do it every single day or 3 times during the day, and then you're gonna notice you're gonna be like dancing to crazy songs, whatever music you like, going to the club and actually enjoying yourself without drinking too much. Yeah. So that could be one thing. Could be there could be loads of other benefits from that, but what is important, actually, I want to give you the benefits. So the benefits is basically when your play circuit is nicely balanced, you have more resilience. So your nervous system is way more resilient, got way more capacity, which is brilliant. You have social capacity as well. So it increases your social capacity and your creativity. So creativity, social capacity, and resilience. I mean, win. And also it does introduce spontaneity back into your life. So those practices, and you can find those practices probably if you, ask ChatGPT, or if you just Google online, how can I, like, micro practices for turning on a play circuit in my brain, just do that. If that practice was just not really for you, you prefer something else, do something else. But let that video be the pivot that you can make towards something fun. And fun is not childish, play is not childish, it's actually one of the most intelligent things that the nervous system can do, because it, like I said, turns on creativity, your social capacity, your resilience, and your spontaneity. So loads of good things. So I trust that was helpful. Like, share, and subscribe. My voice is going. Interesting. And book a session if you want. You've got the links down below to my website and to my scheduling bit. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.